Hello and welcome to What's the Word Windsor, the official podcast of the town of Windsor. I'm Benjamin Boddicker, Creative Services Supervisor, and we're glad you're joining us today. We're excited to welcome Evan Wendlandt, Windsor's Economic Development Director. We'll explore Evan's journey with the town, how economic development shapes our community, and highlight exciting projects like the King Soopers development. Now, let's turn it over to your host, Visual Media Coordinator, Kira McKinley.
I'm Kira McKinley, and you're listening to What's the Word Windsor. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today, we are here with Evan. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk today. I personally love economics as well, so I'm excited to learn more about this department and all of its functionalities in the town. It definitely does a lot, for sure.
We do. We touch a lot of people's lives, whether they know it or not, and with the ultimate aspect of continuing to build a strong Windsor.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, before we get into all of that, I want to know a little bit more about you as well, you know, your background and how you ended up in Windsor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I grew up in Wisconsin, a small town.
Love it.
Went to college up in northern Wisconsin near Green Bay. Studied.
My dad's from there, yeah.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great place to be from.
Yeah.
Certainly is a reason why a lot of Colorado or Wisconsin individuals end up out here in Colorado.
For sure.
But went to college there, got a degree in urban planning, but also studied business. Fell into economic development, but thought I wanted to be a planner. So through my course of career, you know, I've worked in a relatively small community. I've worked in the nonprofit industry doing economic development. I worked out in Washington State doing large corporate attraction work for the entire state of Washington. But met my wife when I was living out in Seattle, and she actually graduated from CSU.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And drew me back here to this region that I was a little unfamiliar with, but absolutely fell in love with. I worked for Larimer County for 3 years, running their economic development team before just over a year ago, I had the opportunity to come join the town of Windsor and absolutely fell in love with this community. I'd worked closely with it, but didn't get really ingrained in some of the intricacies and how you guys do stuff out here. But it's absolutely fantastic. And
I love that. Yeah, and we're very lucky to have you. Obviously, you're extremely qualified, so that's cool. All the background you've had, and it's nice you were in Larimer County before you came here. Got a little intro into Windsor.
Absolutely. I worked closely with that team that was here and my predecessor, Stacy, before joining the team. And so I had a lot of background, but really getting involved and knowing the town staff and you all, Shane and Eric up in the town leadership and the town board, you know, that's been fun to really build relationships with them.
Yeah, and that's nice. I mean, we have a very big staff, so it's definitely takes a while to get to everyone, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and a little bit about, can you give me like an intro into the economic development department? You know, what do you guys do day to day? What does your role look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So our team is made up of 3 staff members, myself, Terry Schwindler, who's our attraction manager, and Stephanie Ludwidson, who is our economic development specialist, but primarily works in business retention expansion.
Nice.
So a lot of our work day to day is helping realtors and developers market the spaces that they have here in Windsor that they would like to see new businesses grow into. We're working with those existing businesses that are here in our community that are either facing hurdles that we can help them get over, helping them expand, helping them hire, and really helping them prosper here in our community.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I mean, it's nice that you're touching not only on what we have now, making sure that's still sustained, but also taking us to that next step. You know, that's wonderful.
Absolutely. Our focus is really to help create jobs here in our community for our community members and then the larger region secondary, but then also really to help provide those amenities that our community members are seeking.
Yeah. And what are, you know, some of the things that you think that people are seeking right now? What are they looking for?
You know, we always hear more restaurant and food options, so we do a lot of marketing around that. Continued attraction for retail. Okay. So how do we continue to have more shopping and opportunities, whether it's our vibrant downtown and continuing to help them grow and fill any vacancies, but also some of those commercial corridors as we look towards the east side of our town and that Windsor-Severance corridor, or closer to I-25, that south portion down by Brands East along Crossroads, and really making sure that we have availability for our residents all around the community to have what they want or what they're seeking. And again, we'll say within reason. We don't want to see the community be forced into anything too large, anything too scary for individuals.
Kind of meeting people where they're at.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like this is a function that people don't really think about, you know? I mean, Shane said something when we had him on last time that stuck with me of like, if it's done well, people don't usually think about what the town does, which is great, you know, but like I think about that with economic development. Like this is such a wonderful thing, and I hope people continue to know more about it, but it's something that people probably don't think we do, you know?
And that's kind of the hope. I mean, we do a ton of our work, whether it's through a non-disclosure agreement or just behind the scenes, to help make sure that, you know, whether a project or a business or an individual feels welcomed here into our community, and helping them take advantage of the resources, the incentives, the opportunity. And so, yeah, we do a ton of work behind the scenes. And
Which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we don't always need or want the thanks. We enjoy working behind the scenes because, again, it should look, feel, and seem seamless.
Yeah, that seamless feel. I mean, you guys definitely do that. It's fantastic. And it's so essential because Windsor is growing so much right now. You know, not only keeping up with the growth, but making sure our existing, you know, companies are also keeping up with it in themselves as well, which is great. So it's nice that you guys seamlessly do that. And looking at that growth, what things are you guys looking at doing? You know, what are some projects that are going on?
No, absolutely. And so to build on that, you know, I always think, you know, bigger isn't always better, but better is better. And so how do we,
love that.
Yeah. So how do we think about continuing to offer better amenities? How do we continue to think about, you know, what's going to feel right? We don't want to, again, I think I said it already, but square peg, round hole does not work well for the community. So some of those projects that we're really focused on right now is that 257, 392 intersection where King Soopers is looking on the northeast side. They're going to have about 14 outlots. So, you know, how do we bring in some of those amenities?
Yeah.
You know, how do we make sure our work is reflecting what the community wants? And then what also benefits the community, not only in tax base, but really in the, you know, places to eat, places to shop, places to get your teeth cleaned, whatever that might be, you know, making sure we have the right balance there.
Yeah, because we don't really think about those practical things, you know, and I think about like, oh, I want a Target in Windsor, you know, but I'm like, oh, but we also need a dentist, you know? So like, yeah, I think that's a really good point. And with King Soopers, I mean, that's a lot of talk, you know? So where's that project at? What are we looking at there?
So actually this week we actually saw the final site layouts and we just started marketing those outlots. So again, we're working closely with their developers and their realtors. Nice. We actually did a trip out to Vegas for the International Shopping Center Council, or Council of Shopping Centers, one of those two.
Awesome, that's great.
But we went out there, we took the mayor and Shane Hill, the town manager, with us to really meet with some of these prospective companies that we want to see in that location, as well as other locations here in the community. So, you know, how did we make sure that they knew about the opportunities that might not be here yet, that if you're looking, whether it's on a map, whether it's through the newspapers, you don't fully know yet, but making sure that they know that, hey, there's opportunity coming. Let's make sure that you're looking in the right places.
What are some ways that you do that, you know, with people? Like, what are some softwares you use and things like that?
So we've got a couple of different tools. One is Placer AI.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that's huge with you guys. And it's huge for like other departments too, right?
It is. There's absolutely zero tie to the individual, but it does a lot of tracking of where our residents are going, where they're spending money. So
that's
where
crazy.
where are they having to leave to go get amenities? You know, are they doing some of that retail shopping down in Centera? Are they doing it in Timnath? You know,
how does it even determine that, though?
So it tracks cell phones actually, and so it tracks cell phone travel data. So it actually has the analyzation to say like, wow, these people spend time, whether it's 8 to 5 here in our community, like they must work here, or man, from 5 to 8, their phone is in the community, and so they're tracking that information to say like, this is that portion of the population that sleeps here but leaves, as well as those that might sleep elsewhere but come here for work.
That's crazy.
And then it can see where you know where the activity is going.
See, that's very helpful for us because then, that seamlessly allows you guys to come on in and determine what we need to keep people in Windsor. You know?
Absolutely, for sure. And so, you know, that's probably one of our most intuitive tools that we do use. And again, we use that a lot of times to figure out, man, Windsor residents are doing a lot of shopping at X, Y, or Z. You know, King Soopers was a prime example. We were seeing individuals leaving our community because our existing shopping centers for groceries, they're overpopulated. We have a
very
need.
busy.
Yeah, we have a need for larger, well, maybe not larger, but more expansive retail opportunities around groceries. So Esches was a great addition for our community.
Yeah.
It provides sort of this niche grocery experience. It's family owned, third location here in the region.
Which people really value here, like the local aspect of it, you know, from a comm side for us, like we look at, you know, what people want to see, like even that just like the local family owned stuff that's extremely valued. So that's cool that you're not only hitting like, yeah, we're adding a King Soopers, but you also added that family local aspect too.
No, absolutely. And so again, our door is open to any business that wants to look here at our community or learn more about our community. We love and we get really excited about those startups and those mom and pops. But we also understand that we need that right balance of sometimes it's big box, sometimes it's a national chain, whether it's, we hear all the time at Chipotle would be exciting and new.
Love a Chipotle, Chick-fil-A.
Correct.
Evan, if that's my personal request, that's, you know.
I would say our team is certainly engaged on those requests, and hopefully we see something along those lines here in the near future.
Yeah.
And I would expect it to be coming, but again, it's one of those opportunities that we're seeing that, individuals are leaving, that school age population especially are seeking out, hey, I have open campus for lunch. I want to go out to a nice, or not maybe not a nice restaurant, but a restaurant
like a
where they've got good food.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or somewhere where they can sit more rather than like a McDonald's and it's just take and go, you know? Well, that's so cool. What's the process then? Like if someone like Chipotle want to come in or anyone, a family owned business, like what's their process to coming in and talking to you guys, getting permits and all that good stuff to get the ball rolling?
No. So they can either start, I should sort of take a step back. So again, the economic development team is part of the community development department. So that includes engineering, that includes planning, that includes water. Really, there's no wrong door coming into those entities. The same way as if someone comes in and they talk to the front desk, they're going to get aligned to one of those departments on their specific needs. What is neat about that is we all have, we'll call it a little bit separate focus areas. And we always sort of encourage businesses or people interested in starting a business to start with us because we probably have the best suite of services that could really serve them. But it's talking about, well, one, what are their space needs? How do we identify whether it's, they want a blank space and they want to build their own building, or they want an existing space that they can move into? We'll work with our realtors. We'll make sure that we know all of our available spaces here in our community. We'll provide them that data. We'll let them evaluate. We'll answer questions. We'll provide feedback. We'll also probably connect them with the planning department in case they need some leasehold improvements or build out that a business might need, whether it's a new hood for a restaurant that we're working with, or it's, man, this is great, but we need like 10,000 more square feet. Could we do an expansion on this site? And so we'd work with the planning department to make sure that that design, their needs would be met on that space so that they don't open up and go, ooh, guess what? This doesn't work. Now we're having to do this all over again.
Yeah.
And then we actually will connect them when they get to the point for business licensing with our finance department because they're the ones that process our business licenses here in our community. And that helps us track our new businesses. It helps us market and push out that information. So it is important that our businesses are having that business license here in our community. And then at the same time, we help them look at hiring needs. We help them look at if there's any available incentives for their activity. And whether that's here regionally, whether it's here in our town, or it's connecting with one of our partners that we have throughout the state of Colorado.
That is so helpful that you guys are so involved in that process. I mean, starting a company even or starting a new location is extremely big. It's a huge process. I come from a family that owns businesses. It is a long time in the making, and it's so cool that this town in particular is so on top of that and helpful because there's other towns where we don't have that, So that is awesome to hear about that process, So we also talked a little bit about King Soopers, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge topic. Do we have anything else kind of coming up that you can mention that's exciting or the community can look out to?
No, I think again, so the King Soopers is probably the most impactful project that we see here in our community. We've got a lot of people excited, and it's been a need. We've been working with King Soopers for about 8 years to look at different sites. and evaluate what the options are. We found this site, there was some conversations, and they were looking at a site just to the west of their current location where they landed. It didn't work out. They couldn't actually get a hold of the properties that they needed to make that footprint work. So we actually worked with them to find a property to the east, which we think works a little bit better, allows them to put in a road to alleviate some of those traffic concerns.
You don't think about those things.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool.
I would say, again, for us, daytime employment is also key. So we're working with Intersand America, which is our kitty litter manufacturer. They're doing an expansion here over in our industrial park. So we're helping them streamline their operations, bring it all in-house. They've been producing and shipping it to storage locations here in Windsor, down in Denver, down in Texas. And so we're helping them sort of bring that box back here to Windsor. So again, part of that is helping that business that just opened their doors in 2018, 2019 here in our community. Yeah, and they're already looking at over doubling their footprint.
Wow. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. And so working with them, and then also offering more jobs here in our community,
which is great. I mean, we need that right now,
Absolutely.
And as everyone knows, and I'm sure everyone would want that. So that's great to hear about.
Yeah.
What are some events we have coming up? What are some things the community can get involved in, or anything where they can kind of touch base with you guys some more?
Yeah, no. So actually in October, we've got a job fair with Johnstown that we're partnering with.
Nice.
It'll be down at Ames Community College.
Okay, cool.
So one, if you're a business looking for employees and looking to attract new talent, we're working with both Weld and Larimer County's workforce departments to help make sure that any individuals they're working with are learning about opportunities here in our communities. And so that'll be October 7th, so we're excited about that.
Very exciting.
Right now, we are working with Weld RE4 in what we call a realtor event, in the know before you show. So anybody that's looking to prospectively move into our communities, these realtors are making sure that they're well educated and informed of what's coming, what the town is working on, what the school district is working on. They just brought on 3 new schools over the last 2 years.
3 new schools is crazy.
It is. Wow. It is. We're a fast-growing community, but also for them to know, what the advantages of each school is here and some of those developments that they've been doing. And then for us, again, it's talking about, well, I like this house, but it's not close enough to X, Y, or Z. We can make sure that they know X, Y, or Z might be coming, or we are working on that, and we understand that's a need. But making sure that they also know that we have this opportunity to have a feedback loop between both realtors that are representing our community to new prospective residents, as well as the community and how we're trying to represent the town.
That's amazing. And with realtors, there's so much behind the scene knowledge that they have to have. It's not just about the house, it's about the community. So
and also their clients too, right? Knowing what their clients want is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing that you're providing that and letting them know, because if I was going to move here, I'd have a million questions. So it's great to know. And we're, again, growing so fast. You don't know what's going to be there in 4 years, because that could totally change where you decide to live.
Correct. I think one of the interesting parts about being a home buyer is you want to know as much as you can about your house, your neighborhood, what's around it, what's it zoned as, because again, that's one of those big concerns we have is an individual buys a home not knowing what's going to come up next door, and whether that property could be retail location, which could be an advantage or disadvantage for them, or if there's going to be a pocket neighborhood like we're looking at out sort of near that 257 in Eastman, that if those houses do go up, there's also going to be some convenience options for those residents.
And that's great. It's good to know about, because where I'm from in Cass Rock, by where my family still lives, there's this huge plot of land. People didn't know it was zoned, put houses on it. Now they're putting a 300 housing development on it, and people are upset. But it's good to know before you buy that can happen. But there's those other benefits that people don't think about either. It's also zoned for more retail options and food options. So it's not just housing that's going up. So It's very good to know before you buy all that information.
Correct. And again, we want everyone to be as informed as possible here in our community. Again, we try to share as much as we can when we can. We always are able to answer questions and provide input for individuals, whether you're a resident, whether you're a prospective resident or a business. we have a lot of that information of what the community is working on, and we want to make sure that individuals are informed.
That's great, Evan. Yeah. And how can people get connected with you if they want to chat?
Yeah, so absolutely. So we actually just moved out of town hall back in August, so we've got a new
Exciting
location.
move, though.
Absolutely,
It's nice.
absolutely. Yeah. So our new offices are actually over in the former police station. It's 211th Street. It's a great facility. That's, again, where planning, engineering, water, community development as a whole all relocated. So if you do have questions, feel free to stop by. We always have staff on service to answer questions. We've got a great website presence as well, and a newsletter that we put out monthly. It's linked on our website within windsorgov.com. So please, I would encourage anybody to one, reach out that way, follow along with our story, figure out what new is working and we're working on and coming up. But also, pick up the phone, shoot us an email. We're all happy to answer questions.
Yeah, you guys are very welcoming people. I definitely think everyone should reach out to you. You guys got great information. Well, and Evan, do you have anything else you'd like to add or leave us with today?
No, I think, to add or leave you with is, we want feedback. We want to hear. The community surveys are important. That's part of the reason why we were so focused on an East Side grocer. So, as we put out town communications and we're asking for input, that's your option or opportunity as a resident to get involved. And so be paying attention to that, be providing input, reaching out to town staff, reaching out to your town board member, making sure that, if you have an idea, if you have a need, making sure that's being shared, because that helps us inform our work.
Yeah, can't fix what you don't know, so it's perfect to be informed as much as possible.
Absolutely. And again, I want to think that to drill home, Windsor is a very fast-growing community. We want to be, if we're going to be constrained by something, I'd rather face the challenges of a growing community than a dying community. So while it might feel cumbersome at times or traffic might seem like it's a little heavy, we understand that. We're working on it. We're trying to figure out how we make new and growth and improvements as sort of least impactful negatively to our residents, but also as positively impactful for those. Because again, we don't want to change the shape, feel of our community. We all picked this community because of the Windsor way, and we want to see that continue. We just also want to see us continue to grow in proper ways.
Yeah, it's not changing the field, just enhancing it. So
Correct.
I love that.
I love that.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Evan. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for giving me the opportunity. And again, you guys do a great job here sharing our story.
We appreciate it. We love to share stories. It's the whole name of our game, so it's great. But yeah, for our listeners, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of What's the Word Windsor, and make sure to follow and keep listening wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you in the next episode.